let's see. When we last left off, the group was about to into the deserts of Elune, I believe. You've been accompanied by a number of new party members. Asita, the Avinosha, who had a little bit of a history with Michelle, and a new character by the name of Marna. I guess you could call it a character, who's actually just the skull of a former adventurer. So, yeah, we begin. If I'm remembering correctly, you all decided to rest through the night, and you were about to head out into the desert the following.
Yep,
So,
that sounds like the short and long of it. Long and
Yep.
short.
we'll start the next morning. Sunrise. First person awake, of course, is Zan because not sleep. Zan,
I
is there
only
anything
sleep
you
for
want to
2
do?
hours.
Well, still, anything you want to do before the rest of the party awaken?
Uh, not really. I'm kind of hanging out where I'm at, which I'm pretty sure I'm with Sirris again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will just speed along to the point in which the rest of the party wakes up in the town of Bone Marrow Bend. So, everybody's up. Raz and Sean, it's a hot, blistering desert morning. The winds blow sand all across the streets. You can hear chit chat out in the marketplace. Very busy this morning. Again, the tribute is due sometime soon. So everyone wakes up downstairs below. Prayer is assisting his mentor, trying to clean up after everyone and get breakfast ready. We'll start there. Who wants to head it off?
I guess I will. I go over to Prayer and ask him if he needs help with anything since I'm not hungry.
Prayer kind of grumbles as he begins to sweep the floor with the straw broom. He says, No, I have everything taken care of. Thank you. Just only a couple days now until they come and collect from the town, so everything has to be in top order.
Do you think this town will have enough for what you need?
I would say so. Allmart brings us a lot of business. It's just, well, we always worry for one another. The next town isn't for some time away, but we don't find out they're gone until the caravans stop coming. Eventually, if all the other villages are taken into Ryuf, then there won't be much need for us to be here.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about the capital we're going to?
Sure. What is it that you need to know?
Well, what's their culture like? And how's the Sultan like?
Yes. So, culture. I suppose I could fill you in a little bit. I told you a little about it. They're very strict on their laws there, and the people tend to act very conservatively because of that. Of course, the wealthy people boast about all the things that they have given away, and they're put on a pedestal in the capital. Again, here, the more you give, makes you a higher class, I suppose you could say. As far as the Sultan, I wouldn't worry about it. You'll probably never meet him. I'm sure you'll see him during the parade for the tribute, but yes, I wouldn't worry about it.
Parade?
Yes, the parade that we told you before, have we not? Whenever
I believe you did, but I think you should refresh my memory.
I don't think she
Sure.
was part of that conversation in character.
Okay. After the tribute is collected from all the following towns and villages which are under the Sultan's control, it's brought in, and each town has what they have given more or less shown off to the rest of the public. As I said, it's a big display to show exactly what you're willing to give up, to part with to greater benefit the capital. Sometimes there will be there will be some carts being pulled along, just stockpiled full of gold from some of the wealthiest family. It really puts everyone in perspective where they stand. We toil in the dirt, and they have thousands of gold to give away.
But never to you
But-
guys.
No, of course not. All for the benefit of the capital. But nevertheless, it's a joyous occasion. You know, lots of vendors come from all over to set up shop during this week. But as far as the Sultan goes, you likely would see him. He typically has a speech of some sort the day of. I wouldn't worry about it. His family comes from generations of entrenched power. He's been there for a very long time. It's not to say that this one in particular is a bad fellow, but his family name is somewhat dirtied over the years.
What's his family name?
The Al-Jakab family. Yes, I'd say they've been ruling over the area for, well over 100, over 100 years now. Yes. It's not that they're bad. They've saved the city numerous times by having these taxes. It's just that, well, they've also shut out people before in the desert and left them to die. So people know better than to insult their family. And of course, the slaves, well, slaves, you could fill whole villages. I suppose I don't have to tell you that. You could do the math yourself.
Well, you told me about a quarter of the village they take?
A quarter of each town and village that doesn't meet their tribute is taken as slaves. And in some towns, when that happens, then the rest of the population fail to cope. And so whole towns are taken into the slave trade. Again, it's not all as bad as it seems, but I mean, I've heard about slavery in the South and Aelia during the war, and apparently it was much worse. Here they're treated as citizens, just very low-class citizens.
I've seen worse than that. And then I go sit down over at an empty table.
Begins to sweep frantically. He continues to look over. He continues to look over at the elderly Avanoshan sitting at the table as if he's going to be judged for his sloppy sweeping, even though he's unable to see it. At this time, the rest of the group, you're all awake.
Tyrmagus will go down to the area, to the lobby area, and he'll say, "Prayer, good morning."
He kind of just nods curtly to you and says, "Good morning. Sorry, very busy," and he starts sweeping circles around your feet.
Very well. I'll notice Xan'Tha over there, and I will sit next to her. So, are you ready for today's trek?
Well, I'm probably more ready than you are.
Well, I'm always ready.
I kind of lean back in an almost cocky way and go, yeah, but I don't have to drink water anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But, well, yeah, you know what? That's true. We're going to the desert, but we'll see how you handle the heat of the desert.
probably not as well as I handled the snow.
What was that? You broke up. Like I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said as probably as well as I handled the snow. Not at
Mm.
all.
Very well. But make sure you have your weapons ready. If we go
Always
off
do.
road, if we go off road, we will fight stronger monsters out there.
You, the two of you hear a scream from upstairs.
Is it a scream that we recognize?
Not right away.
Okay.
Maybe we should go check that out. I mean,
Now, was it a scream of pleasure or a scream of horrifying death?
Horrifying death
All
is a
right.
better description.
How's Prayer taking respond to that? Like, do we see him like frightened?
He kind of looks up, but he acts as though it's not really his job anymore. He may have been a knight, but he's not dealing with it.
All
I
right.
guess I was muted. Is it emanating from my room?
Well, they don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I'm asking.
Yes.
Is it the skull?
Yeah.
Marna, dude, what the fuck?
He says to you, "Wake up! Everyone else is already awake. It's time to go."
I've been awake. What the fuck? So you screech like a banshee?
It seemed to get a rise out of you before.
You better be careful. You're gonna get the wrong rise out of me. All right. Get back in your fucking pouch.
You can't
I pick
exactly go anywhere.
I pick Marna up and I put him in the pouch, the leg pouch.
At this time, Tyr is like, "Nah, we should be fine."
I start walking downstairs. Sorry guys, we're breakfast.
go ahead.
It is there breakfast?
You
You
see
have to.
something cooking, but you don't see anyone eating yet. At this moment, Prayer goes, "Oh, by the gods, the breakfast!" And he runs to the back room.
I already offered that guy help.
Someone's got the right priority. Thanks,
I'm not hungry.
Marna.
He says nothing.
All right, are we ready to go?
Yeah, Sirris will amble downstairs after everyone else. Alright, a good long day ahead of us.
All right.
Are we eating breakfast or are we not eating breakfast? This is a pertinent question.
Well, grab something quick to eat.
Are you done back there? I'm yelling to
Okay.
Pryor.
Prayer shambles to the front, trying to carry a large tray of food. Upon a quick glance, it looks like some of it is pretty burnt. He kind of sputters and sets it down at the table and takes a deep breath, trying to gather his bearings. He looks over at Sirris in his full plate armor and he says, "You know, I was in the service for years, and somehow this is much harder than that."
I'm not in full plate anymore.
Oh, you're not. Oh, obviously, you're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I haven't been in
At
full
any rate.
plate since the city.
You've just been
Yeah,
wearing a breastplate, right?
Yeah,
Well, at any rate, it's directed at you.
yeah. I could see that, I guess.
I offered help.
He says, "Don't need help. There's just a lot of things that I'm trying to multitask. Sorry,
I
very
think
busy."
I think you need to hire more people.
It's an odd way of saying I need help.
Well,
He
I will
says, "The
tell you
group of
this.
you're leaving today, right?
That's the plan.
Make sure you pack plenty of water. We've got a few barrels in the back if you need any to fill up."
That would be wonderful. How much would they be?
The barrels?
Yeah.
I can spare with the barrel for 3 gold pieces, maybe. Water's a rare commodity out here.
We'll take them.
Yes.
How many barrels does he have?
He has 4, but he's not willing to part with his last one, so he'll give you 3.
Okay, I will pay for all 3. And I will carefully try to place them in Zan's sack.
So now I have like 4.5 barrels of water.
You see him walk over to Bluebird and place some coins in his hands. He begins to walk away. Or it says, "Ah, you! Get back over here!" And Prayer kind of hangs his head and lets out a sigh and walks back towards Bluebird. Holds up a silver coin. A coin that you did not give him, Michelle. He throws it in Bluebird's face and says, "You're trying to steal from me again." They quickly begin fighting in their native tongue.
Anybody know what they're saying?
What language is it?
Avi knows that.
Michelle, how about you go get your friend? I think it's
Where-
time for us to leave.
Is she come down yet?
You don't
She-
see Pasita.
All right, I run upstairs and I go try to find her because she was staying. Well, not with us, but in the same place.
Yeah, she had a room here. Just gonna start banging on doors. Actually, there's only
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I
there's
think with
only
all of us
6
staying
rooms
here, there was only
upstairs,
like
so-
one room left.
Yeah. So with a heavy knock on the door, you hear some stirring and a clamor. It takes about a full minute before the door is opened. She is basically wearing like a nightgown and not at all ready.
How long is it gonna take you to get ready? Because like, and I look at my wrist. We're ready to.
She kind of yawns and is like, "Oh, give me 5 minutes. I'll be ready."
You have like 4.
She lazily just like half closes the door and starts to walk away to start getting ready.
I fart and walk downstairs. She's gonna be like 3 minutes, and I hold up 4 fingers.
What? Did she just wake up or something?
Yeah, she just woke up. Ladies in their beauty sleep.
Oh yeah. Totally.
I don't know what you're looking at. I'm always beautiful.
Oh, you were talking about you.
I do the whole hair flick thing, by the way. I totally just animated it and didn't say that I would. Even though Michelle has no hair.
So now, having a little bit more time, you all begin to pick at the food before you. About 10 minutes later, she finally comes downstairs, all dressed and ready to go.
Oop, my bad.
He says, "Okay, I guess let's go." She grabs an apple from the table and starts to walk out the door.
I don't trust her.
All right.
Oh, okay. I guess she's ready to go finally. I'm glad we weren't waiting on her.
I'm walking behind her. Like I'm like staring at her like I don't exactly.
Okay. I guess Zan's got a thing for her. Are you guys ready to go?
Of course. I've been waiting for over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Let's go to the camel. I think they were
Yes.
camels.
Camels. Correct.
Yes, there were.
All right. So group begins to head off towards the camels. Towards the entrance, because you have the camels with you, actually. You have them stable out front. They seem restless. They seem ready to do something.
I
They're
pat
kind
one
of
on
stamping their feet.
I pat one on the face kind of gently and kind of go, "We're about ready."
What do you feed these things?
Are you just asking the group?
I'm asking the group because I am unaware and I don't think we packed food for them.
I take the apple straight out from Priscilla's hand and hand it to him.
He immediately chomps into the apple.
Me or the camel? I'm confused.
She feeds the camel.
Oh, okay.
Priscilla seems very frustrated. Kind of stamps her foot and says, "That was my breakfast."
Well, maybe if you
Just head
came
back
here
inside.
earlier.
She's going back in. She says, "I'm taking another apple."
Sirris, what do we feed these things?
Apples, apparently.
I think we need some apples because it's gonna be a couple of days, and I don't think camels can go a couple of days without. Can they?
Just a moment later, she steps out. She says, "Camels eat grains. Leaves, seeds, twigs, any kind of foliage at all if we could find some on the way there, but chances are we won't."
Probably cacti.
So where can we get a couple bags of grain?
Probably back with that guy who you made very angry the other.
Well, maybe I shouldn't go up to it.
I think it should be funny if you do.
Yeah.
Wait, what guy?
We just need
The-
to get some
Oh.
wheat for our travel.
Oh, Zan, you weren't with us. You could probably get away with it.
What?
Yeah, just don't do magic in front of them. They get a little testy.
I wonder. Huh. Okay.
If you do magic in front of him, he will grab a pitchfork. And he will
I
stab you.
I kind of stand like, do I look like magical?
You are an elf.
Yes,
Yeah, a little bit.
you look magical, but let's ignore that and go get the goddamn grain.
Okay.
Just some wheat or grass, or, I mean, obviously they feed the beasts there, so they must have something.
I guess I go with the camels.
I want to lead Zan all the way there, but like a block away, we're gonna stand around a corner and be like, "All right, over there is where he's at. Just go and get enough food for like a couple days."
Okay.
For each camel.
I roll my eyes and I start walking with the camels to the.
Don't take the camels. He's gonna know where they came from.
I guess I don't take the camels.
He's gonna recognize their faces.
Yeah.
and I walk over to the camel guy.
Okay. So you walk over and you see a very, very dirty, very tanned old man missing half his teeth, struggling to chew on some kind of fruit that's foreign to you. He kind of glances up underneath his hat, says, "Morning."
Good.
What?
Good morning, sir. I'm looking to get some camel feed if you have any.
Mean grass?
Yes, or anything that you have better for like a few days trip.
Yep. Give me a silver.
How much for 5?
Give me a gold.
How much for a gold?
He kind of just sticks his hand out and chews fruit and juices dripping down his chin.
I hand him 2 gold.
He points over in one of the pins. Says, "There you go." You see a number of bales of various wheats just stacked up, mostly grass. Yeah, some wheat as well.
How much of it?
He kind of just waves his hand and says, "Take what you need."
Okay, just as long as you don't, watch me, okay?
Right. I'm figuring someone your size can't take much.
Yeah, right. I kind of go into a spot where he can't see me, and I'm like,
His back's away from you.
Okay, I still kind of go into a spot where he can't see me, just in case he turns around, and I take about like 5, 6 of them hay bales, and I just kind of stuff them. Stuff them in the bale.
Okay.
And I take one and I walk away with it. Like I'm holding it.
He has paid you no attention.
Hey
All
guys,
right, so
Well, I see you got the bail.
I've got 7.
Good.
With this is 7.
All right.
math's about as good as Michelle's.
Well,
I toss it at Michelle since he was like, "Here, you get this because you offended him."
You want me to hold the bag of holding?
No, the bale of
grass.
of grass I brought.
What? Put it in the bag of holding. We'll feed him when we stop.
This is so for now.
Yeah, we want to go now.
I understand
They're
you want to.
already trying to pull towards you.
God damn it.
They haven't really eaten throughout the night.
All right, I throw the fucking bale on the ground.
Nobody thought to pick up feed bags or anything like that, so yeah.
I was hoping we could use those tauntauns in a cold winter night. Or desert night.
Be prepared to sleep inside your camels.
They eat for a moment, and when they seem satisfied, they kind of stamp their feet in the dirt, letting you know that, hey, let's go somewhere.
All right, who's ready?
I've been ready all morning.
I look at her with a questioning look, really.
Let's go.
I'll climb up on one of the camels and offer my hand to Xan.
I take it and I get up.
I climb into one of the spare camels we have.
Pasita struggles to climb on the back of the camel.
I help
It
her
takes
up.
her a couple of tries. Okay, she makes it up. So, you all ready to go?
There was one for all of us, right? I don't remember.
There was 3. There was one for 2 of us and one for Tyr over there.
Okay, I hop on the one with Pacific.
Alright, let's
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Begin to take off into the desert heat, the sun glaring above. I could only find so many images where the sand was red, and it's frustrating because none of them are daytime. Anyway, you begin to head off, sun high above, each of you sweltering in the heat, something you're not quite accustomed to. After you get just outside of the town, you hear, Michelle, you hear a voice coming from the bag on your hip. Marna says, "Can I speak now?"
All right. Guys, this is Marna. Marna is in my little leg back. It's the skull. You guys.
Well, I already met him.
Very frustrating to bite your tongue when you don't have one.
I bet.
Well, would you rather like be put into, I don't know, magma and just completely die?
I'm super
Pasita
curious.
immediately grabs the bag and begins to inspect him again, kind of like Sirris did, like he's an object. And she's murmuring things like, "Wow, fascinating."
Hey, He's
Put me
a
down,
person.
you slag.
Hey. I like slap him on the forehead. That was mean. Not enough to like crush the skull.
I understand what you're trying to do, but I can't really feel it.
Well, then you
Yes.
understand the damn point. That was rude. As was what she did. So, is there any way? Does anybody know of any way to get him his body back? Or a body back? I don't know how that works.
Well, I'm sure there's a number of sorcerers who could find me a body.
I mean, you're like really old, so wherever your body is, it's probably gone now.
I take Calanon out and I take my book out and I put Calanon on my lap and I start reading.
Well, I would assume so. Again, I apparently am just a skull. Chances are my body is already scattered to the winds.
Or digested. Since
Or
we
that,
found
thank
you
you.
in a
I'd not
dragon.
considered that.
Well, it
God,
could be
what if-
worse. You could be riding in this heat.
That's true.
Or it could be worse. You could be walking.
Or you could just be on, in the middle of. Never mind.
Again, with no sense of feeling, I don't think it would really matter to me, but
It'd be very lonely though.
lucky
He's
for the
been in
group
a
of you
drag-
here, I don't have to consume your rations.
Ah,
He's
what
been
rations?
in a dragon forever. I bet he knows loneliness better than any of us.
You didn't even know he was alone.
I wouldn't say lonely, more
I'm gonna look around me.
kind of in my own world.
I bet it looks like desert.
Just in case there's something else.
Yeah, so at the moment, you actually go ahead and give me a check.
Everyone giving you a check.
18.
Whoever would like to may give me a perception check, but what did you roll? Zach?
18.
Yeah.
18.
I'll just use my passive. I don't think
Okay.
I have anything in it.
Can you guys hear me
Got like a
better?
12 or a 13.
I can
I-
hear you.
I can hear you.
There's really not much to see. The sky up above is clear blue, not a cloud in sight. The sun, while just barely risen, scorching your skin. All around you, you see nothing but dunes of red sand, very well-worn, beaten path, which you're currently on. You can see the wind blowing sand over the hills in the distance. You do see a creature of some kind far in the distance, moving at a quick speed, but it doesn't look like it's moving towards you. Moving along the horizon.
Huh, that's odd. I didn't think anything would be surviving. Do we have anything to cover ourselves with?
What do you mean, cover yourself?
Like
Yeah.
the skin. My skin. It burns.
So everyone else decided to get some nice desert attire, except for Michelle, who's just,
Oh,
got
yeah.
a new hat.
What's wrong with my hat? And I did fabulous into some like
Oh yes, that's correct.
Afghani looking robes if you
That's correct. So
You guys
Sorry,
didn't
that,
think
that
of
might
me
have
when-
been nationalist, but I think you guys understand my
I think Xan is the only one unprepared for the desert because you didn't go to Allmart.
No, I bought her a set of clothes. I just hadn't told her about them.
Well, let's talk about these passports they gave us.
Well, do I recognize what's skirting across the horizon?
You can't pick it out at this distance. It's too far away. You can see the movement of some bipedal creature, but it's running very quickly. Like, faster than human.
Oh, excuse
Towards us or away from us?
Just along the horizon, not towards you.
Excellent.
I wonder
Yeah,
if I can shoot it.
This country seems odd.
Yes,
can't
well, it's a
say
good thing that you do have the passports because you do not want to be tried as a local.
Now, the only question is, I know we're far away from town, but does Zan even have a passport?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I
she
do.
went and got one.
Send her after one.
It's like a
Okay.
24-hour type of thing, so seems like it.
Yeah, I can't say that I agree with this country's way of doing things.
Yeah, I do not either. But I'm glad we're leaving before the tribute.
We're probably gonna get there by the time we, you know.
Well, we'll see how long we have to do to find this child of Sirris.
Well, let's
Well,
see if
even
I
if we-
can't talk to Paladin about that.
Even if we do make it to Ryuf, it's hard to tell exactly how things have changed since the new Sultan was appointed.
You probably know better than us. I close my eyes and I start meditating with Paladin in both of my hands.
Oh, by the way, you were reading the forbidden text, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The chapter that you're going over now details the creation of the Crucible of Glass, which legend said was made by the X, the followers, actually the children of the god Larone. You may remember the Crucible of Glass was supposed to be in Mount Hellfire, but they said Jack had taken it away somewhere. This shows you depictions of a literally gigantic anvil that has runes all along its base, and it does fit the description of what you were told should be there. But anyway, it just talks about how it was created and the powers with it.
Mm.
So it's going to be a little bit of a. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, that's correct. Tyr, you wanted to have a word with the Chattering Skull, correct?
Yeah, but he already revealed it, so I'm like, it's fine. There's far worse things out in the desert than a chattering skull.
Just want to make sure we were good there.
I think we're fine.
Tyr, do you happen to know of any way to get his body back? Or what may have caused him to become a skull?
Magic.
'Cause you-
presumably.
You were like
I would-
super old, right? I'm talking to the skull on that one.
Oh. Okay.
If what you tell me is true, I must be.
Well, you were there when the oh goddamn tools of the disciple were made, right?
Some of them, yes.
What when were you there for when they were made? How, I mean, can you explain how they were made?
One sec, guys.
So what brings you out this way, Tyr?
I'm pretty much. I would say I'm pretty much just wandering around, probably being a mercenary more.
Mercenary, you say?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
I've come from far away, probably from Thiel, and made my way back over here.
My ears perk up. Hey, so are we.
You know, it's very interesting for me. In the past, almost all of my parties have been exclusively from the Alia region. So to have a group of people from a place not quite as fleshed out, it's a little exciting.
Do I
So-
not hear anything from Calanon because I'm meditating?
No, it doesn't give you any clear indications of one thing or the other. Now, whenever it is adjusted towards Marna, it does give you that low vibration.
Hey, Michelle,
What?
get your butt over here.
What?
I want to touch your skull with my sword.
Marna,
Sounds
are
like
you okay
death
being
threat.
touched by a sword?
Do you have your sword out right now?
Yeah, I've been meditating with it.
No, I know. It's just, do you have it out when you're standing beside him? Was my point.
We're still riding on the camels.
Are you going? Okay, but are you going to take your sword out and stab the skull while riding on the back of your camel?
Yes.
I want to turn around and put my hand on the sword. No, no, that's probably not a good idea.
I don't think touching Calanon is a good idea either.
Trust me, this isn't my first rodeo.
Marna, you didn't answer my question.
Oh, the tools of forbidden glass. Yes, of course.
Well, I mean, you can send us a spreadsheet on that later. But I specifically was stating to the being touched by the golden sword.
Touched. Well,
Do you want Calanon to touch you?
Calanon.
Yeah.
I recognize that. I don't mind. I've had encounters with the blade before. I wonder if it remembers.
Okay. Xan, do not stab him.
I just want to
You
touch
can
him.
touch it to him. Don't stab him. And I hold it out.
I look at Sirris.
I can't imagine this is a good idea.
I mean, we've had worse ideas, like riding a dragon.
I wasn't riding, I was attacking.
Hmm.
I put
Yeah.
Calanon away, and I'm like, I kind of thump my back against Sirris and go, "Don't worry about it. I was just joking a little."
He wasn't flying, he was falling with style.
Into a rod.
So you guys flew a dragon.
He did.
Killed a dragon, yes.
Ah, very as a mighty feat. Few people can do that
It sounds
without
more
any
impressive
siege
than what it
weapons.
actually was.
Well,
Xan still has a giant chunk of it in her bag. It's the part that makes the flamey bit happen.
the flamey bit.
The flamey
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, the flamey thing.
I once ate a dragon.
What?
Dude, tell me
think the
more.
dwarf-
What?
I'm so Was that from Marna?
Yes.
Or was that from Pasita?
That was from Marna.
Oh, thank God. Wait, you ate a dragon? I think a dragon ate you.
Well, you know, what goes around comes around, I suppose.
I'm having a heyday over here.
How do you eat a dragon?
It's quite simple, actually. You just descale it and then you
It must be very
cut the
quick
meat.
because we were barely able to get scales, a horn, and the thing that's in its neck.
Well, surely there was plenty of meat. Why did you not try it?
Because it
I
was
was
on fire.
always trying exotic beasts.
I try a lot of different exotic beasts.
I mean,
and a
Michelle's.
lot of exotic meats.
I mean, Michelle's an exotic
Why am I
meat.
stuck with this heathen?
I don't think anybody else wants to carry you at this point.
Fair.
Yeah, unless you're of use to me, I really don't care.
I suppose I could be a projectile.
That would be used to me.
That is a tempting thought.
You're a good alarm, apparently.
Oh, yes. I have nothing else to do.
Really good screamer.
I'm sure you appreciate that in a man.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I like to be the one screaming.
And then I look over at Michelle, like I have this confused freaking look, like, why would you want somebody else to be screaming?
I mean, normally I don't want somebody else to be screaming. I do prefer to be the one screaming.
Why
but,
would you be the
know,
one screaming?
It's
Don't
Ah.
worry about it.
Has no one ever told you about the birds and the bees?
It's been too long?
I think you know about the birds.
I hate the birds.
You hate the one bird.
At this moment, the
Kusita's a
sand
nice
in front
bird.
of you begins to shift.
I'm going to assume I'm not even looking at.
Likely not.
I'll stop the camel and shout for everyone else to stop.
I
Yep.
also stop.
What's going on?
The sand begins to shift and rise in one spot before quickly falling down again.
We have to move away now.
That doesn't
Yeah.
look happy. I don't think we should park our camels here.
Lead the way. Let's get
No.
out of here.
All right. Lead the way away from the sifting sand.
That would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
How fast are the camels going?
I believe their movement speed is 80 feet.
I believe we're at full dash to get away
Yeah.
from shifting sand.
You get some distance away when Pasita says, "Look," and points over her shoulder. You can see now the sand begins to crest and a giant scorpion appears from underneath.
Oh no. I don't think
So,
we're going to
when
be
you say
running away from
giant,
that.
How giant do you mean?
I mean giant by the rulebook has named it giant scorpion.
Oh, okay.
So actual giant sized as far as D&D is concerned. A large beast.
I'm going to shoot it.
That's a what the fuck are you doing? We're running.
What happened in this
See,
game?
I told you, Joe's running.
What happened in this game when Michelle started making more sense than Sarah?
I don't actually shoot it. We're
I'm
probably too
sick,
far
so
away.
I'm sober. That's where part of this comes from.
That's the problem. Okay.
I'm sober too.
I can't play Michelle sober. I'm sorry. It's hard to be true to his character while not drunk.
It's okay. Forgive you.
I don't. Bastard.
Adding alcohol to being sick is probably not a good mix.
Yeah, probably not.
NyQuil plus vodka. That's a
why you get
really new
whiskey.
kind of.
Burn the sick out.
I've only got crappy whiskey left.
Be sick if you're unconscious, right?
Exactly.
Couldn't be sick if you're dead.
Oop, did not move the over there. Oh, never mind. That's just for me. So
Hey,
anyway, you do
camel.
manage to get away, as long as you keep your speed. It looks like it is trying to come towards you, but it's not quite quick enough. So you manage to get away. It leaves your eyesight, and Sita kind of lets out a sigh of relief and says, "Well, at least that one didn't have wings."
What?
What?
The Scorpoids. I know you've been warned about them, right?
Yes.
They have wings?
We were warned about them? I turned to
Yes, they-
Sirris and go, we were warned about them?
You were meditating with your.
I asked you
Dripping.
guys if you guys learned anything important, and apparently you guys did.
They did say there's bad things in the desert. I believe
Yeah.
that qualifies.
I did tell you about the desert. Besides the heat, there's other things out there. So that was your warning.
They're roughly the same size, though red in color. They try to camouflage themselves as best as they can with the sand, and of course they can fly.
I dare it.
That sounds overpowered.
Let's keep vigilance on our travels.
So, let me see. I would like everyone to give me a Constitution saving.
Oh yeah, because I've got con on lock.
14.
24.
What's
Tier
mine?
got 15.
18.
Ta-da. Pasita gets exhausted. Seems the desert heat is a little bit too much for her. Even though the Avanosha are from this land, she hasn't been here in a very long time.
Do you need some
Probably
water?
since birth.
Like you're looking a little woozy.
Yes, I could use a drink.
How long have we been
Yes.
traveling for?
At this time, you've been traveling for 2 hours.
I think we should do a water break.
How are the camel doing?
Hang on.
Give me.
Camels seem fine.
Okay.
I mean, do you want me to ask him and make sure they're okay?
Oh, just because I didn't get to show you guys before.
I hand Pasita a water skin. I say, here, drink from this.
She takes a big drink, kind of pants for a moment, trying to catch her breath before going in for another drink.
Come on, finish it up.
Just give me a moment. It's I never did eat my apple. Yeah, I think I'll do that. She bites the apple with a satisfying crunch. Juice begins to run down the side. She chews it for a moment and says, "You know, I brought alcohol, but I don't think that's a good idea anymore. I'll probably die out here."
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And that, by the way, this is the closest image I could find. Very difficult to find assets for this particular person.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kind of makes her look like an old man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was a dude.
Again, very difficult to find assets, but you can imagine this just more feminine and younger. There you go. However you make a bird more feminine, you decide in your head.
Oh,
God. More curves.
all of the curves.
She looks exactly like Dee from It's Always Sunny.
Yes.
I knew somebody would get that. There we go.
100% did not get the reference, but that's fine.
I love it. It's Always Sunny.
All right. So, anyway, she takes a little bit of a breather and reaches her hand up, trying to get some help getting back on the.
Oh, I was doing that so she didn't have to get off the camel, and we could just keep
okay.
going.
That's
Why.
fine.
I mean, she's riding with me, or I'm riding with her, or however we're. I don't know who's on first. I know I'm
Sure.
riding with her.
Yeah, it's all good.
Michelle's riding bitch to the parrot.
Probably.
You're writing bitch to the small virgin.
Okay, so
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Because I'm the one steering the camel. That means you're riding, bitch.
I go speak animal.
Are we continuing? What's going on?
Yeah. You want to fast forward through the travel and just get the
Yeah,
interesting
I'll go
bits?
ahead and just hit the hot points. You travel for a couple more hours, and the sun bears down and continues to make everyone uneasy. The sand gets into places that you feel sand should never be. All you can smell is dust.
Been there.
After a little bit of time, which you guys are going off of the path, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
we're
trying to go for the most
beelining straight to this barbarian.
Yes. After another hour or two, you see a camel in the distance heading towards you.
Does it have a rider?
It does.
I ready
The
in
rider
action.
appears to be lying against the camel's head, kind of just resting. So he's not really aware that you guys are there. He's just like napping on the camel's back as it trots towards you.
That dude looks dead.
The camel is wearing red and white, indicative of the capital. As it gets closer, again, you see the person, his arms just kind of swaying back and forth with every footstep the camel takes. It's only about 30 feet away now.
No, really, I think he is dead.
I want to try and stop the camel, grab its reins as it passes.
Okay. It kind of fights you a little and then comes to a halt, kicks, and its rider falls off in the sand.
Xan,
What?
take the reins for me. I'm going to hop off and try and...
Is he dead, or did he like come off of the thing and slump straight into the ground, like, you know?
As he
Full-on
fell to the
ragdoll.
ground, you can see now clearly at least a dozen arrows buried in his back.
Ooh.
Do I recognize him?
No.
I was just wondering if it's the guy I saw in the vision.
I
No,
hear you're supposed to
it's-
check their pulse. Sirris, check his pulse.
I'm trying to wrestle this camel.
Trouble is, you can't really tell how long he's dead because his corpse isn't cold.
I was
Does
trying to
anyone-
establish whether or not he was even dead, but, you know.
He's dead. He's like super dead. He's been shot, like I said, at least a dozen times. Who knows how long he's been riding, but he's definitely dead.
I rifle through his stuff.
The mask on his face, you can see a small slit where his eyes would be peeking out. His eyes are milky white and caked with sand. So he does have 2 saddlebags on his camel. And he is also wearing a pouch.
Okay, I'll check the saddlebags. See if there's anything useful.
I'll check his pouch.
All right.
Sure, you're pretty
in
adept at
this-
grabbing other dude's bags.
Yeah. Usually with my
In-
mouth, but I'll use my hands this time.
In the saddlebags, Sirris, you find typical supplies, just some rations, a couple of canteens of water. There are some scrolls rolled up in a tight bundle. On the opposite side, you see some silver coins and a couple of daggers. Typical stuff you would expect. Rope, daggers, there's a bedroll attached. Only thing out of place, there is a small ring at the very bottom of one of the bags, and also the scrolls, which could be written in.
Okay, I'll take a
Some
look
of
at
them.
the ring and actually first I want to tie the camel to our camel. And then I'm going to take out the ring and the scrolls so I can look at them.
Michelle, you hop down from your camel to inspect the body. Marna speaks up and says, "Ooh, there's a new body for me."
I don't think any of us know how to put you in it.
But he doesn't need it anymore.
Do you know how to just hop into it? And it's got a lot of arrows in it. I don't think that's a.
Oh, yeah. Damaged goods. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I
Uh,
start rifling through his coin purse.
So, his bag, you find something that looks very familiar. It is a passport. So, clearly it's not from this region. Also, inside of his bag, you find, well, mostly provisions. Just a ton of jerky of some kind. And there's a folded up leather pouch. Like
I
a little
open
leather sachet inside of his.
I open up the folded leather sachet.
As you open it up, you see a couple of small stones that are engraved. These look familiar. They look like amulets from the Prophet's Eye, that shop you were in just the other day.
Huh. There's some of these amulet thingies here. And a passport if somebody, who's not me can read. Maybe we can figure out who this guy is, and I throw the passport to Pacific.
She opens it, and some dust or some sand pours out of the envelope. Yes, let's see. Crenshaw Dowdy, citizen of Aelia. Religious reasons. Looks like the passport was stamped 2 weeks ago.
This isn't a Dragonborn, is it?
No. He is
Okay, I'm
human.
just curious of whether or not you killed off one of my alter ego.
Not much here to see. Yeah, he's only been a couple of weeks. Religious purposes. Oh, priest? People in pursuit of the question are known to come in this direction. They say this is where the whole.
He doesn't have a whole lot of priestly shit on him.
I think this is where I can attune to. I can attune to Kelnon here, I think.
Aelia is where where this guy came from.
Okay.
No.
Couple of things. Tarzan, keep a lookout. I don't want to be caught with her pants down.
Of course.
Down here it says you worship Pelor. Must have been here for the new gods. For him.
So, what am I getting from the ring and the ring and the scrolls?
Are you trying to inspect them?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at them.
Okay. Scrolls, based on what I'm seeing, characters you cannot read.
Okay.
Do you want me to look at those later? Sirris,
What?
you're like looking at those scroll thingies. Do you want me to look at those like when we go to take a rest?
I doubt you could make heads or tails of them.
I mean, I'm pretty good at identifying what things are, though.
They are not magical scrolls, for the sake of that. They are this person's something handwritten.
Hey, Michelle, pass me Marna real fast.
Are you okay with that, Marna?
Just give me the damn
Sure,
scroll.
might as well get the view from down there.
All right, I hand him Marna.
So,
Yes.
can you read any of this?
Oh God, I've seen that before. That's chicken scratch. Go talk to the bird girl.
Wow.
All right. I'll toss Marna back to you.
Apparently, we still gotta work on the politeness with you, Marna. Sorry. And I put Marna gently back in.
When I was alive, we were still allowed to keep slaves.
Yeah, well, it's not that way anymore, and you're just gonna accept that.
So
Well,
how would you feel if I used your skull to carve in?
What?
Yeah, I've been thinking of taking up some calligraphy.
Drawing on a skull. I like it. Very
You guys are so mean, and I'm still like pilfering through.
she's
I'll,
pilfering through a dead body. That's mean, right? Okay.
I'll hand the
So
scrolls
you
off.
are, Sarah, you're searching his actual physical body?
Yes.
Full cavity search.
I thought that's basically what I was doing by going through his shit.
Yeah.
I thought you were just looking in his pouch. Whomever.
I mean, I would have been looking through anything on his person while Sirris is going over.
Well, tucked into his shirt is a holy symbol. It is the image of Pelor, golden sun with a face.
I've seen this before, and I hold up the image.
Yep, looks like the sun.
No idea. Tier?
I like to roll a religion check.
Sure.
Have a 19.
Oh yeah, you know all about Pelor and the rest of the new gods, for that matter.
Yep. I will explain the benefits and advantages of Pelor, I guess, and the new gods. And in short term. So basically just like a rundown.
Yeah, basically praise the sun, lawful good guy, mostly priests and paladins and clerics, that kind of thing.
Well, you remember the paladin guy from Heathcliff, right? He has this on his tabard. And then remember, we've also got that one building with all of the. You don't think he's from Heathcliff, do you?
Heathcliff? What kind of place is that?
It's a new kingdom.
I think most of them would be new to me.
Oh yeah.
I think just about everything in this world is new to you.
The camel seems very lost. Really seem to know what to do. It's just kind of standing.
About what time of day is it?
At this point, you've been traveling for some 6 hours, and you started out at basically at sunrise, so
Okay, so
May-
we're close
on
to
afternoon
noon-ish.
almost.
Yeah.
We should probably let this camel go.
Why don't we ride him? Like, I mean, we're two of us are riding on other camels, so
That means one of us will have to stick with someone.
Zan, do you want to ride the camel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather ride with Michelle anyway.
As long as I can be on the back, I'm good.
To be honest with you, I was just going to keep the camel with us in case we run into trouble. We could use it as bait.
You want to keep camel as score point food?
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes to that, then yeah, we can, but
It's a camel. I have to prioritize.
Your microphone's doing that crazy shit again.
Well, so you know, I don't think it would be very good bait. Typically what they do is they catch their prey, fly up in the air, sting them a few times, and drop them until their bodies shatter. That way they don't really have to get in a rush to eat them afterwards. They can continue hunting.
Huh.
yeah, but
That
it still takes
sounds
them.
rough.
Yeah, but it still takes them some time to do all of that, right?
I mean, I'm sure it would. I can't imagine a camel would fight back very well, though. Give us a couple seconds.
So should we carry the body with us, and give him like a nice burial, or like, is that a thing religious people do? I think that's a thing religious.
I think we should do it anyways
Yes,
because that's
I
what
will.
good people do.
I will. If we can quickly do this, I'll give him the prayer of departure.
Do we want to like dig and throw him in a hole?
I take his shovel out of my bag of holding.
I think we would be better off to try and burn him.
Per
That
his
too.
religious practice, he would likely prefer to be cremated.
All right. Who wants to cremate him?
Well, after we take all the useful bits off of him, I'll blast him a couple times with firebolt.
Yes, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, it is.
While we're taking the time to do this, I'm drinking some water.
I'll take
Everybody
the
stay hydrated.
Yep.
yeah, I'll take the saddlebags off of the camel, put on ours, and I guess let it go.
But
Zan's gonna ride it.
Oh, are you? Okay. Never
Yeah.
mind. My bad. I missed that part of the conversation.
So let's take a drink.
I
of
give the
our-
new camel some drink.
It's very thirsty, very
and,
hungry.
and I give it some of the grass.
Okay, Tyr, you're saying your prayer?
prayer of cremation. I set the symbol of Pelor onto him, and then I'll just signal Sirris to line him up.
Gladly. Let's get a move on.
All right.
So, actually, this ring, is it a signet ring, or what is this?
It looks like a simple copper band, though it does have a single rune on the face of it.
Was it, does it say anything, or do I
Nope,
recognize
just-
the rune?
Actually, give me an arcana check.
I am magic as fuck. So let's see.
That one.
It is 16.
Rune on the front, it's binding.
Binding.
Yep.
Huh. Okay. As we're writing, I'll hand the scrolls over to Basida, see if she can make heads or tails of, and I will slip the ring onto one of my fingers. That'll fit, if it'll fit, just to see what it does.
Okay. You put the ring on. Immediately, your finger begins to feel very, very hot, as if the ring had just come off of a hot stovetop.
Huh.
So it's burning. And again, you do
So,
have the necklace on.
I was
going
going to say,
burning. It is not like a fiery burning, but it is the sensation of burning.
It's burning like when you pee.
Yes.
Good
can
analogy.
I roll Arcana again to see if I can figure anything out about this? Because it
Sure.
doesn't seem right to me. That one is a 23.
Ooh. So you inspect the ring, and you find it is now firmly fixed to your finger and unable to be removed.
Oh, great. I think I put it on my pinky.
All of a sudden, you understand why that symbol denoted binding.
What are you freaking out about up there?
Apparently, they've got a new.
Apparently, you've got a new crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
I said, apparently, I have a ring.
You have
You
a
still
ring.
cut out at the same spot. Like, I know what you're saying, but yeah.
So what did he say?
He has a new ring.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Well, yeah, but you're shaking your hand like that shit hurts or something. Are you like, what did you?
Eh, minor inconvenience.
Your whole life seems to be a minor inconvenience since we left Thel.
You could say that.
We should tell Tyr about what happened to your body and how you ended up like that.
He hasn't seen. I've stayed pretty wrapped up.
Oh, that's true.
Well, if we're all done here, let's continue on forward. I don't want those flying scorpions, the scorpioids, come over here.
Yeah, I
With
bet it
them.
smells like a barbecue, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
I was actually going to describe that scene, but dialogue.
Oh,
Basically, yeah, it smells like burning flesh. The body took off almost immediately. It appears it's dried up a little bit in the sun. Who knows how long it's been rotting before you found it?
can Basida make heads or tails of the scrolls?
Yes. It appears as though, let's see, construction on Davis. Oh, okay. These texts appear to be about xyloid. Interesting.
Isn't that what the swords are made out? Like the tools of the thing are made out?
Well, that's the chemical in their magical properties. Interesting that someone would just have these on hand.
I was under the impression that it was banned.
What?
Yeah, I didn't think anyone was allowed to work with it anymore.
It's not that no one is allowed to work with it. It's just it doesn't exist anymore. No one knows where to find it. Of course, using it in the way it was used during the War Nova is now banned, but supplies are gone. Huh. I'm not sure. It's interesting.
Yeah, that was strange. Okay. I guess we're good to kind of travel on.
Okay. I'm just going to forward. Okay, you continue off the beaten path for quite some time when up ahead you can see the ruins of the town. You can see roofs of the buildings, even in the distance, appear to have been collapsed in. There's nothing moving about, just town that has been abandoned.
So, I'm guessing it's in
And
our
by the way,
path.
it's pretty much right in front of you, and it's evening time. So
That was gonna be my question. Was what
Yeah.
time was?
sun will be setting within the hour.
Seems like a time for us to go to sleep. It's a good thing there's a bunch of buildings up there.
Well, yeah.
Let's scout ahead first inside and
Yeah.
see what we do. But yes, if it's a good place, it'll be a good area to rest and avoid any outside.
How about you guys stay up for a little while and let me sleep so I can stay up for the rest of the night?
We can work that out once we scout out the bit city.
Question.
Yeah.
To stop at our regular or continue an extra? I think everyone agreed we would be stopping at our normal time, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I will. I like to stop at normal time.
That's fine. So You are approaching the town. As you get closer, you can see exactly the state of disarray that this town is in. It's hard to tell exactly how long it's been abandoned. The buildings that were formed from stones still appear to be standing up, but anything else has pretty much been blown away
So
over the years.
I'm going to try and make a perception check to see if I can uh spot anything recent, like any kind of recent activity.
Okay, sure.
I'm just going to take a 10, so it's going to be 15 with my mod.
All right. Really see would indicate recently. Of course, what little knowledge you have of the desert, it's safe to assume within a day or two the sand would have swept away any kind of footsteps.
I rolled a 20. I went to go look around too.
Okay.
I'm
again,
staying back with Pasita.
Nothing too telling about this place. From your best guess, it was likely abandoned after too many people were taken for the tribute. It looks like some of the homes still have some belongings inside. There are remnants of what used to be markets and shops. Some still have shelves installed where goods likely once were but have been cleared out. It's just a ghost town.
What is the best building that I can see to be in?
There is a stone building at the center of, there's like a little circle at the edge of one town, which you're assuming was the market square. There's a tall stone building there. And give me just one sec, guys.
Okay.
Oh, wrong button. Why are you sending us pictures of a sexy bird lady?
I was drawing the one chick, Priscilla.
Well, I mean, she's got more curves.
Set curves and feminine.
I cannot argue with you there. We're all just sitting here like, don't know what to do now. So, Joe, you said that you play Destiny. What do you mean?
Uh, well, I'm in the Titan right now.
My main's a hunter.
Yeah, I mean, so I like the Titan because they're like the beefy guys, like the punch a lot, and the armor is a pretty like badass. I do like the hunters because they're more agile, and the warlocks, of course, they can be support or heavy hitters. I think the Titan could do the same thing too.
Yeah. It all depends on how you play it.
Yeah. For anything raid related, I will do the Bubble Titan. It's a good one.
Yeah, I'm a hardcore
The
void
hunt.
bow.
Yeah. The Void Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we talking about the ninja void, or the actual
The
void?
bow.
Yeah, the bow. Yeah, that's a nasty super, especially when we have the right equipment for that.
Yes.
Constantly like
You're good, dude.
yeah, that's fine.
All right. So, yes, there is a stone tower one side of this building. Well, not really a tower, just it's a 3-story building. It's a pretty tall building. You're not sure exactly what it was used for back then. There are banners of the region of Loon still outside. Again, they are white banners with a large red elephant on the front. They appear to be tattered and torn by the wind and dust. In the center, there are remnants of a campfire, but it's been long since extinguished in the center of this little square.
Hey, how far is Sirris from me?
You're all just kind of walking about the town, right? It's not a very big place.
Well, Michelle said that he was staying back.
Yes, but Sirris, you were inspecting, correct?
Yeah, I was just looking around, so I'm probably not too far off.
Yeah, well, technically it would be a village. It's only made up of about 20 buildings, give or take. So no problem to get to them.
I go, hey Sirris, we could probably camp here. It looks pretty stable.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, we all probably could have our own rooms too.
You'd
Let's
all have your own building if you wanted.
let's check out the interior first.
Okay, I guess I grab my bow and cock an arrow.
Cock and arrow.
So where are you at, Tyr?
I will fall right behind Cirrus.
All right. So Michelle, you're staying behind still?
I'm guarding Pasita basically.
She's interested to check it out. She's
Then
deferring to your judgment since you're the big guy.
we can go in, but it's we're gonna go it slow. We're not other people are walking.
That
Mich-
sounds reasonable.
Michelle,
What?
do you have that talking skull still?
Yeah, he's attached to my leg.
May I please borrow him?
That's up to him. I look down at my thigh.
Do I really have a choice?
It's up to you. I'm not gonna let him take you if you don't want to.
I don't mind.
Okay, here you go, Tyr. I gently hand him.
Excellent. So, I'm talking to you, Zach. What are we looking at? Like, is just a big dark area or whatever?
It is the square of a town. There are a couple of buildings around. One or two have collapsed under their own weight. Over time, the actual building in question. It's a 3-story tall building of stone construction. It has a number of banners out front depicting the nation of Elune. Inside, it is dark, but you can make out the figure of the shapes of the table and chairs in the front room.
I have 120 feet of dark vision, so I can see everything.
It appears to have been an inn.
Yeah, I have 90 feet, so.
Also, appears like an inn. I will. There's no one in there.
No, you can't see anything moving within.
I will take the skull in my hand and I will throw it inside the inn.
Okay.
And I will wait for any reaction coming in.
Well,
Like
as you throw him, you hear a very familiar "Ah!" as he flies through the air.
What did
And
you do?
tremors, and
The fuck?
Hold
You know
on.
what?
he clatters across the ground and lands sideways underneath the table.
Wait a minute.
There's silence for a brief moment, and then you hear, "It's dirty down here. Pick me up!"
Give it a sec. Still waiting.
I'm assuming you have your like arm out, like stopping anybody from coming through the.
Yeah, pretty much. It's waiting. It's like there's got to be a trick in here. Like there's got to be something. The idea was
See-
throwing him in there, and then hopefully something come up.
He says, "I see a mouse. That's about it."
How,
All right.
how big is the
You can,
mouth?
you can retrieve your skull.
It's a person. His name is Marna.
Let's
You
go.
get
Let's
ret-
go get Marna. I start walking towards the
I'll be
end.
ready. Tyr's gonna set him ready in action.
It was a person. He's undead.
He still talks.
His conscious is still there. He's a person. I go and pick him up.
He's more lich than a person, but all right.
So,
That's true.
yes. You go in, there's nothing, seemingly nothing there. It looks like it used to be an inn of some kind. The downstairs has tables and a bar. There's some very dusty old barrels in the back that you assume are likely empty. There's a hearth that hasn't been lit in a very long time, and the entire floor of this first level is just covered in a layer of sand where the door was left open. It smells like dirt.
Mm.
It smells like
Are we all-
dust.
Are we all staying in here?
It's the best spot, I think. Well, if you
Okay.
guys,
There is a wooden staircase that goes up one side of the room to the higher levels.
want to stay up for a couple more hours, I'll take first watch. You guys,
Maybe we need to check the rest of the inn.
I have my bow still out.
Yeah, let's check the rest of the inn first. Let's scout everything here,
Well,
every nook and cranny.
I can't see so well, so I'm going to cast light on my shoulder.
Okay.
Oh, hey, there is light in here.
I don't
can
see what
just-
you guys' problem are. I mean, we can stay in the dark. Why can't you?
I can already imagine Tyr, like, with his back against a door, kick the door open and throw Marna in there like he's a flashbang grenade or something.
Yeah, just.
I imagine
I'm
that too.
not letting him do that again.
It was a good idea.
Hey, Michelle, can I see
No.
Martin real fast?
No.
Oh, he didn't break me, did he? I can't see. Am I
I'll
correct?
I can't really see that well either,
Let-
so I'll check you out later.
Give him
I
here.
hope
You
not.
know I won't throw him.
I no.
Okay, you hold him. I'll
No.
look at him.
Okay, so are we going to inspect the rest of the place?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I'll
staying
just go
downstairs
ahead.
with Pasita.
All right. I'll just go ahead and fast forward through this process by telling you the place is abandoned.
Okay.
All right.
There are no
Traps or
hostile mobs or traps or anything like that. It just looks like the place has been totally and utterly abandoned. There are beds upstairs, but they are in a state of disarray. It looks like most of the rooms have been stripped down, and anything that could have been of value has already been stolen or taken, likely by the powers in charge in Ryu. So, yeah, it's just a totally abandoned building.
Well, I'm going to reiterate the statement I have been making is that they stay up for a couple hours, wait until I'm ready to watch, and I take a bedroll and I give them no choice.
Are we all staying downstairs?
I'm on the second floor.
Yeah, I want to take that table and prop it up against the door.
Don't worry about that. And I walk over and I pop an immovable rod up against. And oh yeah, by the way, Sirris, I'm sorry. When you were trying to die, I retrieved your 2 immovable rods. Here's your 2 rods. At least I'm
Thanks.
assuming these are yours. We found one in a dragon, and the other one you were slumped over.
Yeah.
So, at this point, you hear a voice coming from Michelle's bag. It's mumbled, but there is a voice coming from your bag.
My leg pouch?
No,
God, fuck! More talking shit! I like yank my backpack off and start rifling through.
you find a small green stone that was given to you by Lolliot, or actually by Lyle. But you hear the voice of Lolliot. Hello?
I don't. Hi. I think
Oh.
Sirris actually had it, by the way. Nah,
Oh, well,
the one I had was for Rosalind, but that's fine.
at any
Doesn't
rate,
matter.
hello. Yes, is this a safe time to talk?
Is it?
I'm asking you if you are in danger.
I'm maybe, probably not.
Who else is there?
Can I hear him?
Yes, I'd assume so if you're all together.
Mhm.
Elliot,
The,
we're here. It's fine to talk.
Okay. So, my informants have been tracking the whereabouts of Malleus. It
Yes.
has come to my attention that he is looking for you. Good luck.
What?
Yes, he's always been vengeful, and after interrupting his resurrection, it seems he's taken an interest in you rather than amassing his legions as we had first assumed. So Malleus will be in pursuit.
All right.
Why do interesting things happen when I'm not around or sleeping?
like,
Well,
can he find us?
Well, it's a large world. I can't imagine so, but there is a chance.
Is there any magic stuff that helps him find us better? Because he does a lot of that magic crap.
Yes, there could be some spells that allow him to locate you. But I assume he's quite weak at this moment. I wouldn't expect an encounter from him directly. He'll likely send someone to you.
Sirius, have you informed Tyr about this? And Pasita, I'm sorry, I'll explain in a minute.
This is my first time hearing about this.
I
he
meant
means
about
Malleus.
about
And-
Malleus and why he might be looking for us, and you know.
Oh yeah. I may or may not have interrupted a ancient Lich's ritual to bring himself back.
Well, he's not exactly an ancient lich. He was but a mere man only years ago.
Oh,
Seems
okay.
now he's more lich.
Ancient
At any
sounded
rate,
better.
at any rate, he will be searching for the group of you. Well, he made it very, very clear to us. After
Very
you
clear.
cleared out, well, after you cleared out the forests, the tropics there, he began to send crews back, reclaim the land, and expedite the building process of the cathedral here. He sent parts of them back to us, along with notes. He wants you, all of you.
Except me, right?
Yeah, he doesn't know about you, so
All right.
you're good.
So I believe you made a very cool enemy.
I have that effect on people.
Well,
Yeah, Pasita, if he ever catches up with us, you might want to just run.
At any rate, we still don't know where he is. Again, the only reason we got these messages, he sent parts of our, well, he sent back parts of our countrymen with one of his undead. He's out there. We're just not sure where. So keep your wits about you.
Did you send any of the mercenary company after him?
No, no, we would not send a mercenary group after such a formidable foe. No offense to those who you've employed.
Again?
We didn't know first time.
Okay. Thank you for informing us.
I'll be in touch if I find out anything new.
Much obliged.
With that-
Sirris, you can keep this stone. I'm tired of stuff talking to me in my back.
I can take more
With
off your
that, the
hands.
faint glow of the
Nah,
stone
I'm not letting go.
slowly fades, and it turns back into an inert rock. So, there you have it. Resting?
I'm
Let's,
gonna
let's secure the area first, and then we'll like barricade the door or something, and then we'll. just-
We already did that.
The door's barricaded with an immovable rock.
Okay.
Did we bring our camels in? I would assume we did.
You never said you did.
I move the immovable rod and I bring the camels in with us.
All right.
I guess
I mean,
we're
that'll
sleeping
at
with
least
the
be a.
camels.
If you leave them on the first floor, it would at least be a warning sign, I guess. If you hear the camels screeching in pain, then you know something's coming.
I'll probably sleep down there with them. I bring all the camels in, and then I'm going to ritual cast speak with animals and explain. Thank them for for how far they've brought us so far. Here's some food and water. You guys take it nice.
So speak with animals. Allow me to. Maybe you would know offhand. Does that help you understand them, or does it just make them understand?
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Okay.
Because remember, I did it when we landed in
They're
Heathcliff.
not very. They're limited by their own intelligence,
Okay.
and I might be able to persuade them, but that's up to you.
So, the camel wearing the new one that has joined your group. Now that it knows that you can understand it, it's basically saying to you in whatever way
alpha.
that it can. It's saying, so many arrows, they killed my master.
Well, I mean, what did they look like?
He doesn't really have a proper way to communicate, but he's trying to say that they were wearing the same thing he's wearing.
They were wearing camel skins.
He has on a banner of Ryuv, of the capital.
So I convey that to everybody else. I'm like, hey, so apparently that dude that we buried, he was killed by his own people, according to his camel.
Well, no, he was an immigrant from Alia, and he was killed by people of Ryuv. So
Okay, I convey that better.
evidently they didn't take the time to examine his passport before killing him.
Wonder what he did. Probably diddling the wrong, priest's daughter. That'll usually get you killed.
How many priest daughters have you killed?
Well, if I were to guess, I would say it had something to do with those papers.
I'd say you're right.
I'm assuming that's my leg talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even in my time, the processing of xyloid was left to very particular individuals. Can't imagine this paperwork was meant to get out to the public.
It's weird that he would have it on him.
Exactly. All the more reason to get killed.
I mean, yeah, but they killed him, so why wouldn't they chase down the camel and get it back?
They probably
Good
figured
question.
the desert would take them.
Yeah, but I mean, if they killed him to try to get that back so that the public didn't.
The fact of the matter is, it's difficult to find xyloid and even harder to process. A layman's would have nothing to do with it. Now, if you were working for a certain government, well, kingdoms have fallen, right?
Many.
Okay, I go upstairs and I ask Xan if we can go pull out some hay and water for the camels and water for all.
Has it been a couple hours?
After barring the door, I re-put the movable rod.
Has it been
Sure.
a couple hours?
And at this point, it hasn't been a couple hours. It may have been an hour since all those conversations happened and everybody's settled.
I glare at Michelle. I'm like, and I toss the bag to him. It's like, fine. And go right back to
Thanks. I'm
sleep.
gonna go feed camels. Go back to your fake nap. And I go downstairs and feed the camels.
I'm like
and
cuddling
pull out
Caledon
a
kind
bottle. I'm totally ignoring her, and I pull out a drum of water, and I'm like, okay, here. And I fill up my water.
Okay, all the camels are eating and drinking and settle in for the night. From what you can understand, they're just excited about being out, about actually going somewhere and seeing stuff.
It only lasts like 10 minutes, so I don't. Okay.
That's probably the last of it you're gonna get.
And then before I go to bed, I want to pull out my small piece.
Okay.
And I want to talk to Rosaline about her day, where everything's been going, how our adventure's been, and I want to have a full-on gossip talk with.
Okay. She tells you she's still stuck on a boat, and it would probably be a lot more fun if you were there, but she's not very happy to be on a boat. She's headed back towards Alia, which is where she was born, and she's thinking about catching up with some of her family who she hasn't seen in a very long time.
Sorry, gotta go to that character page.
Okay.
Okay, so any other encounters, any other conversations before in the night?
I'm cool.
Nope.
No, I'm
I
good.
pretty much, after like my nap, I pretty much wake up and just tap him on the shoulder and just tell him to go to bed. after, getting my bag of holding and put my knapsack back in my bag.
Okay. So, Tyr, Michelle, you both have stuff to do tomorrow, correct?
I mean, so does my wonderful wife. We have work.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got, I got, I got work, but that's about it.
Okay. Just checking in. So, with that in mind, I believe that is where we will end tonight's session. You all rest in the abandoned town, and we'll pick it up from there next time. So, until then, this has been Critical Role.